everyone, it's Natalie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some of my reading plans for 2021. In particular, I'm going to be talking about Books and Lala's Buzzword Reading Challenge. I'll link down below her video explaining it, but I'm still going to give a short explanation for it. Basically, there's two parts of it. You can participate either as a readathon or as a reading challenge. The readathon basically means that the first week of every month of 2021, you read as many books as you can that feature the buzzword of the month. So you would read either a book that in the title has the buzzword or that the book series has the buzzword in it. I'm going to be doing the reading challenge because it gives me more freedom to read when I want to, when I'm in the mood to, because the reading challenge basically means that you have to only read one book a month as long as it fulfills the buzzword prompt. That's enough. So that's more comfortable with my reading life. I think I can actually manage that. So today I'm going to be sharing my TBR for this reading challenge. I have at the very least 2 options for each month because I'm a mood reader, and if I don't have quite a few options, it's possible that I won't fulfill the prompt at all. So I wanted to play it safe rather than be sorry that I didn't give myself as many options and didn't think through them as much as possible. In this TBR, I'm also going to be mentioning mostly books that I already have in either my digital TBR or my physical TBR, because I'm trying to use this reading challenge as an excuse to finally get around to some of the books that have been on my TBR for a while, or simply some of the books that I bought in 2020 but that I haven't read because I'm a mess. I also won't be giving a super lengthy description of each book because if not, we'll be here all day and I don't want to do that, so let me just stop rambling and just get started. The buzzword for January is dream. This is one of the months that I don't have a lot of options because I don't really have that many books either on my current physical or digital TBR or that I even want to read that come out in 2021. So the options here are The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin, which I know what you're thinking, that doesn't actually have the word dream in it, but the book series name does. It's called the Dream Blood duology, so there it is, Dream Blood, it counts. The other option is Dealing in Dreams by Lilian Rivera. I want to read more books by Lilian Rivera, so I was like, this is the perfect excuse to squeeze that in. I don't technically own this one, but I'm still gonna try to pick up either of those. For February, the prompt is color in the title. Doesn't matter what color, as long as it's a color and it's in obviously the title or book series name. For that one, I have The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor Laval. I also have Pink Slip by Katrina Jackson. I have The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, which is a stretch. I find it very unlikely that I'll pick up The Priory of the Orange Tree in February, but I wanted to put it there because technically it counts. I also have Wolf Song by TJ Klune because it's part of the Green Creek series. So, okay, I technically DNF'd Wolf Song in 2020, but then I keep being tempted to continue with the series, but I don't want to be completely confused if I continue with the series. So this book is tentatively still a thing I'm going to finish, but I don't actually know. And finally, I have Jade City by Fonda Lee because it's part of the Green Bone saga. I've had Jade City on my TBR for so long that it's embarrassing. I'm probably gonna end up having to buy the audiobook in order to actually get around to reading it because I'm scared that it will never happen. And I really want it to happen. The buzzword for March is time. My first option here is The Fire This Time by Jessamine Ward. Again, probably gonna end up checking out an audiobook for this one because it's nonfiction and I prefer my nonfiction as audiobooks, but regardless, it's here. The other one I have is This Is How You Lose the Time War. Really want to read it because I've heard really good things, so I'm kind of hype about it even though I don't own it. And then I also have She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman by Erica Armstrong Dunbar. Again, this is another nonfiction, but I think this one would be much more readable even physically, but again, I don't own it either, but I really do want to get around to it, so fingers crossed. For April, the buzzword is anything space related. My number 1 option is actually one of my most anticipated 2021 releases, and that is The Galaxy and the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. I am a Becky Chambers stan. I have absolutely loved everything she has written. I am obsessed with her. I think she writes the best characters, the best sci-fi that is very character driven, very soft, very chill. Honestly, she just serves vibes all the time and I love it. So So very, very highly looking forward to this release, and I'm very confident that I'm actually gonna be reading that one for this month. But some of the other options I have are Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst, The Lost Sun by Tessa Gratton. Again, Tessa Gratton trash. Didn't actually get around to this one this year. I mean, I don't think I will. There's so little time left, and I really want to read Nightshine by her before the year ends. So The Lost Sun is probably gonna have to wait till next year. We'll see. I also have The Shadowed Sun by N.K. Jemisin. This one is here only if I finish the first book, because this is the second book in the duology, the Dreamblood duology. So if I finish The Killing Moon in January, then I'll be picking up the sequel this month. The buzzword for May is house or home. My main option for this prompt is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Not really the spookiest month to read this in, but again, I'm a mood reader and sometimes the mood just strikes, so it's a possibility. It's a real possibility. I also have a 2021 release that maybe I'll try out, which is Like Home by Louisa Onome. Don't know much about this. I think it's mostly a friendship-centered book, but don't quote me on that. Again, 2021 release seems like something I would be into, so it's on this TBR. I also have Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas and The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. Both those last two, again, don't actually own them, but I really, really want to read them. So we'll see which one I end up picking up. If I actually read The Haunting of Hill House, or if I go for something that's not technically on my physical or digital TBR, but I still really want to read, so only time will tell. The buzzword for June is a name or a title. So the book has either a name in the title or there is a title, like an official title, like King, Queen, Empress, stuff like that in the title. So my first option for that is Emma by Jane Austen. This is probably not gonna happen. This is probably not gonna happen, one, because she's thick. I mean, it's summer, so it's possible, but also it's Jane Austen and I don't really vibe with her, but I own this, so I'm trying to see if I can convince myself to finally read it. We'll see. I also have Paper Valentine by Brenna Yovanov. This has been on my physical TBR for a while now, and I'm scared I'm never gonna read it, but I still don't want to get rid of it because I read a couple of books by this author that I really, really enjoyed. So I don't want to get rid of this without having read it, basically. I also have Lament by Maggie Stiefvater. This one's on here because it's part of the Fairy Queen's Deception series. We'll see. I don't know. Again, I'm still trying to hit Maggie Stiefvater's backlist, so it's a real possibility, but I don't actually know if I'll wait as long as June to pick it up. I also have The Queen of the Conquered by Kaysen Callender, How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black, The Queen's Poisoner by Jeff Wheeler, The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Nevo, which this one I'm actually hoping that I'll read this month. So it's unlikely, like in December, so it's unlikely that I'll wait till June of next year to read it, but I'm also putting it here just to play it safe. Just to be like, what if you don't read it and then you keep putting it off and then it's June and you still haven't read it, so keep it in there. So that's why it's here. And then finally, there's The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri, which is part of the Burning Kingdom series, so that's why it's on here. It's also one of my most anticipated 2021 releases, so we'll see. As you just saw, I have quite a few options for June, so we're keeping things open. We're keeping the possibilities open. For July, the buzzword is last. My first option is another highly anticipated 2021 release, and it's One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I absolutely loved Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, which you can tell because it's right here in my favorites shelf. Loved it. So I really want to read this sophomore, is that the word for it? Maybe sophomore novel by Casey McQuiston, because their first book was great. So I'm really, really looking forward to this sapphic romance. I'm like, yes, please. And basically all my options for July are books that I don't own because I couldn't find other books that fit into that last prompt that I actually owned in any capacity. So the next option is Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. Really, really looking forward to this one. I also think it's sapphic and I'm like, yes, please, please. Another option is The Last True Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake, The Last Cigarette on Earth by Benjamin Alire Sainz, and Aisha at Last by Usman Jalaluddin. If I really messed up that name, I'm really, really sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it. For August, the buzzword is a time of day. So basically any time of day counts, is fair game for this month. One of my main options for this one is The Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman. Again, another one that I've had on my TBR for a while, so I really want to get around to, but again, it's thick. I think you can sense a pattern here of avoidance of long books, kind of my thing. Anyway, primary option. I also have About the Night by Anat Talshir. Again, if I'm butchering that name, I'm very, very sorry. This is one of the books that I have on my Kindle that I kind of got on a whim. I think it was free or like $1 or something. So I'm like, well, if I can actually get myself to read it, that'd be nice. I also have a couple of other options that I don't own, so I'm just going to mention those very quickly. There's Let's Go Swimming on Doomsday by Natalie C. Anderson, Spin to Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, and Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. This is so that I have another excuse once again to buy this 2021 release and read it, so that's why it's on here again. The buzzword for September is dark. My first option is Soul in Darkness by Wendy Higgins. This is another one that I bought on a whim because it's an author that I read one of her series a long time ago, and I kind of wanted to revisit her, especially since now I've embraced romance and trashy romance and just enjoying and living my best life. I'm like, I should pick this up since I bought it really cheap. I should just read it, so it's my first option. I also have Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. This is part of the Something Dark and Holy series, trilogy. I don't know the full name, but I know it's Something Dark and Holy, so there it is, dark. I also have, again, The Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman, because again, if it's not one, maybe it's the other. I also have a couple of 2021 releases that I would include in this category, but again, I don't want this video to go on forever, so let's just move on to the next month. October's buzzword is elements. In this one, it's not that it has to have the word elements in the title. It's more like anything related to elements can fit into this month's reading. So my first option for that is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. I've owned this, I think, for 3 years now, and I haven't read it. I think you might know why. Another reason is because I hated book 2. So not looking forward to this, but I also refuse to get rid of it. I don't know why I'm like this, okay? I just know I still own it, so if I can convince myself to read it in 2021, that would be really great. I also have A Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst, Fire from Heaven by Mary Renault, The Fire This Time by Jessamine Ward. Here again, this one has a couple of repetitions because again, elements is broad. It's a broad category. I also have Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zusak. I really love The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, but I still haven't read Bridge of Clay because you've guessed it, it's a long book, so I haven't got around to it. But it's in my Kindle and hopefully I will. And I have Bonds of Brass by Emily Skrutsky. This is one that I was actually really looking forward to reading this year. I got it this year and I was super hype about it, but then I just didn't read it. Hopefully I will next year, but we'll see. For November, the buzzword is lost. My first option is The Lost Son by Tessa Gratton. Again, really want to read this book, so hopefully if I don't read it in the other month I mentioned it in, then I'll read it in November. I also have The Unbroken by C.L. Clark, which is part of the Magic of the Lost series. This is one of my anticipated 2021 releases, so that's why it's on here. We'll see if I get around to it. I also have Lost in the Neverwoods by Aidan Thomas because I really want to read it. Again, a 2021 release that I'm highly anticipating. So actually it's pretty likely that the one I'll pick up is Lost in the Neverwoods, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Finally, for December, there's multiple buzzwords and it's day, month, or season. For this one, my first option is highly unlikely that I'll read it because it's December, but it's The Summer of Chasing Mermaids by Sarah Auckler. Again, this is another one that I've had on my physical TBR for a while, so we'll see, but again, highly unlikely because it's summer and December's winter. But again, I had to mention it. I had to put it in here just in case. My other option is Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. Don't actually own this one, but I really want to read the backlist of Tiffany D. Jackson, so that's why it's included on here. I also have Winter Counts by David Heska. I've heard really good things about this one, so I really do want to try it out. I think it's a mystery or thriller or suspense. All of those blur together for me. It's one of those by an Indigenous author, so that's why I'm really looking forward to reading it. So yeah, that's basically my TBR for the Buzzword Reading Challenge. If you're going to be participating in this readathon, please let me know down in the comments below. If you want to buddy read any of these books, which are a lot of them, so pick any of them, and if you want to buddy read, I'm totally open to that. Just let me know down in the comments below. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to follow me on any of my social media, I will leave that down below in the description. But for now, see you next time.